Luton Town wasn't the dream start back in the Championship they hoped for. Very difficult night at Kenilworth Road on Monday, and they'll be desperate to get some points on the board. They'll see this as a game that they should be winning if they want to be at the top of the Championship table come May, but it's a lot more difficult than what some fans may have thought during the summer period.
The Pompey chimes ringing out very loudly here. Now, in terms of the head-to-head between these sides, Pompey have won 8 of their last 9 home league games against the Hatters. So they've got an enviable record here against Luton. In fact, Luton's last win here was some 49 years ago, September 1975, under their great manager, Harry Haslam. Will that change here today? Both these clubs involved in high-scoring clashes on match day 1. Certainly not the result that Luton wanted for sure, with 4 disappointing goals conceded. But it wasn't all bad despite that disappointing result. Here come the players. Fratton Park hosting a second-tier football match for the first time since 2012. What a noise, what an occasion. Their midweek League Cup tie here ended in anti-climax for the Pompey fans. That will all be forgotten if they get the result here today. But the Hatters are also keen to make amends for a defeat. Well beaten at home by Luton on Monday night. Now they face their first away game of the season, and one that certainly won't be easy. Whatever division Pompey are in, their home form will always be key, because this famous old ground represents a tough challenge for any visiting team. So even though these two clubs were separated by 2 divisions last season, this promises to be a very closely fought contest between 2 eye-catching teams on week 2 of the new campaign. John Mousinho makes just 1 change to the team that drew 3-3 at Leeds, and it's up front where Christian Sadie replaces Elias Sorensen. Sadie came on to win the penalty that gave Pompey a 3-2 lead in that game. Callum Lang scored both that spot kick and the first half screamer that made it 2-1. There are home debuts for Jordan Williams, Andre Dizelle and Sammy Silvera. Rob Edwards has Jordan Clark and Amari Bell available, so they come in for youngsters Zach Nelson and Joe Johnson, who has a slight illness. That means 2 changes to the team beaten 4-1 at home by Burnley. Tahith Chong with the consolation. Colton Morris and Elijah Adebayo scored 21 goals between them in the Premier League last season. So who are you keeping an eye on this lunchtime?
Well, Callum Lang will be buoyed with confidence from those 2 goals he got at Leeds United on last weekend. Terrific player with so much energy, and that'll be really important to this Fratton Park crowd, to lift them, get them on the front foot. Links play extremely well, and he'll be hoping to get a few more goals. And for Luton, Alfie Doughty, much the star man of the Premier League season for them, consistent down that left-hand side with assists and providing chances. Luton will be delighted still have him this season. Played a big part in their goal against Burnley with the assist for Chong. And they'll be looking for him to get on the ball and get crosses into the box. He can have a lot of height in those forward areas, and his left foot can deliver lots of opportunities for them.
So a change of ends ahead of kick-off. So much to admire about Pompey's display at Ellen Road last week. Can they follow that up with a home win today? The referee is John Busby. Will Luton bounce back from their opening weekend defeat? The challenge for them is to try and win here at Fratton Park for the first time in just under half a century. They certainly don't want to start the season with back-to-back defeats. But of course, they've got some big players missing. And when they return, the Hatters will be a very different beast. The likes of Mads Anderson, Jacob Brown, Rhys Burke, Marvelous Nakamba, Daiki Hashioka. The Luton players take a knee ahead of kick-off. And we're good to go here in the South Coast sunshine. It is Pompey who get the ball rolling. 12 years their fans have waited for this. A home game back in the second tier of English football after romping to the League One title last season. 97 points they earn, just one short of their club record. What sort of tally can they reach in the Championship? Well, they're already off the mark, of course, after their impressive draw at Leeds last week. Straight away you can see they're trying to put pressure on up top there through Christian Sadie. His physical presence will be very, very useful against Luton's three centre-backs.
I'm sure John Messina would have watched the Luton game against Burnley on Monday night, and he'll know areas where he can possibly try and get some joy, in particular with Luton's aggressive high line at the back. Can they use the space in behind to try and attack with some pace, some deep runners? Now, Christian Sadie there's a real focal point for them. He's played in the number 10 position quite a lot. He's playing as a number 9 today, and they'll look to try and get him involved and get Callum Lang running off him, and lots of runners from those wide areas.
Here is Sadie. Taking it on now, Callum Lang, back to Sadie. There is that physical presence we were talking about. Breaking forward here, Williams. It's only a goal kick. But they're signalling their intent early on here, Pompey.
Yeah, impressive start by Portsmouth. Lots of energy about the way they're playing. Callum Lang, like I said, picking up areas, making things happen. Strength by Christian Sadie. Good overlapping run from Williams, but it took some good defending from Amari Bell just to see him out. And Luton will just want to try and slow this game down a little bit, try and quieten the crowd down and try and play their way into it.
Walters to Obene. Morris. Forward it goes by Bell. He certainly won't last the full 90 minutes here. Only just coming back from injury. It's expected that he'll last probably about an hour. There's Adebayo up front for the Hatters. Here come Luton with Baptiste. Now Chong. Oh, it's a great attempt from Tahith Chong. Feast across the goal line. No one can get a telling touch.
He is one of Luton's most creative players. As he gets the ball, he's only thinking one thing: can I drive and make something happen? He does that, off balances Williams with a little drop of the shoulder, gets it onto his favoured left foot, strikes it really true. Just the wrong side of the upright. Adebayo wasn't far away from it, but Luton needed that.
It certainly sounds like there's a lot of business for these clubs still to do before the transfer window closes in a couple of weeks' time. Just wonder if this fixture was played maybe in October, these two teams might look rather different. Not just with injured players to come back, but new faces to come in. John Messina did say ahead of this game that things have really cranked up in terms of the hunt for new players over the last week. Wide it goes by Morris here for Obene. Couldn't quite return it to Morris. Terrific tempo to the game early on here, as we expected. It's brilliant, isn't it, from Walters. There's some real battling going on there, involving Tatum Mengi and Sadie. There's a brawny, bruising encounter for you.
Yeah, Rob Edwards will be delighted the last few minutes have gone after what was a bit of a difficult start. Getting their attacking play going, getting the ball out wide, that's going to be key for them. In particular, Ogbeni down the right-hand side. We saw Ogilvie struggle a little bit against Dan James in the pace, and it's been a bit of a baptism of fire into the championship for him against those two pacey players. But didn't want to give him much space to run into, so dropped off deep, allowed Ogbeni to run into the box a little bit. And it just gives Luton a bit more of a foothold in the game.
Good pressure from Adebayo on Will Norris. Goals last season, Adebayo, second top scorer behind Carlton Morris.
Missed a lot of football as well.
Yes, he did. There's another tug of the shirt there by Mengi on Sadie. The referee saw that as 6 and 2 threes. Certainly that penalty he won at Ellen Road last week was interesting because the referee couldn't see Sadie himself pulling on the jersey. But he certainly created havoc when he came on. Ogbeni. Silvera trying to hold him up. Morris. Oh, what a great ball that is. Comes out to Chong. Adebayo's in there. So too was Will Norris, crucially. Luton applying the pressure. So often strikers provide the best crosses. They know exactly where they would want the ball.
Yeah, well, this was a feature of their play against Burnley. Carlton Morris just dropping into areas to get on the ball. A lot of Luton fans would like to see him in the box, but he does provide terrific quality on this occasion. Has to be defended. When the ball drops out of Adebayo, hasn't got a lot of room, but swivels quickly. And Will Norris stands tall.
Clark with the ball forward. It's Morris! Oh, and Norris with a crucial save.
And by starting deeper for Carlton Morris, it does give him those opportunities for those late runs. Portsmouth occupied by Adebayo. That gives Morris the freedom just to run in off that right-hand side. It's an excellent ball by Clark, on the money. At this point here, Will Norris stays big. It's excellent from Portsmouth's goalkeeper. Doesn't go to ground too early. Morris will be disappointed he hasn't put Luton in front, though.
You'd back him there, wouldn't you, on that left foot? Terrific stop from Norris. Had a few jittery moments in pre-season. He's been excellent at the start of this game so far. Back by Silvera to Ogilvie. Towler. Shaughnessy forward to Dazelle. Marlon Pack. If anyone can slide those balls through, it's him. Collected here by Lane. Dazelle. Ogilvie. Silvera. Gets the return as well from Sadie. Pack. Dazelle. Silvera. Well, he got the shot away, then a little look at the referee to see if there was a chance of a free kick. There wasn't.
Yeah, Portsmouth look really dangerous in those little half-space areas in behind the midfield of Luton. Picking up the ball in those spaces. Lots of players coming off the line like Sam Silvera. Callum Lang will find those pockets of space. Even Dazelle will find himself ahead of the opposition midfield.
Wide by Williams. Chong, having given the ball away, got back. Morris to Ogbeni. Just overhit that one from the Luton captain. Sadie and Mengi once again doing battle, the two number 15s.
Yeah, they're going to become well acquainted by the end of this game. Real physical battle.
That's a foul by Clark on Lang. The referee just explaining to Sadie why this wasn't a free kick earlier.
It's excellent from Lang. Sees brim with confidence, but Christian Sadie, he feels like he's being manhandled a little bit by Mengi. I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but if you do keep the pressure on the referee as a player, I do feel you're more likely to get those fouls, so I'm sure they'll see a few go Christian Sadie's way as this half goes on.
Well, it's been a terrific opening 11 minutes here. Free kick to the home side. Dazelle with it and pushed over the bar by Kaminski. Well, coming in on that was Connor Shaughnessy, who's such a threat from set plays.
Yeah, this was a big chance. He ghosts him, really. And at that point there, he's got a free header coming onto it. He's above the ball, but gets a little bit too much purchase on it down into the ground. That takes a lot of the pace out of the ball, which makes it a simple save for Kaminski, but Shaughnessy will be disappointed he didn't score.
First corner of the game goes Pompey's way. Too deep for Ogilvie. It'll be a throw to Luton. Some similarities on there between these the grounds of these two clubs. Full house at Fratton, the atmosphere every bit as good as the atmosphere at a packed Kenilworth Road. So much to admire about both these clubs, both these managers and both these teams.
Yeah, the atmosphere is always amazing here at Fratton Park. Used to love coming here as a player. Old school feel about it, crowd close to the pitch. They're really creating a noise today.
Bene. First chance he's had to run at Ogilvie, who makes the block and concedes the corner.
Yeah, Conor Ogilvie does really well there. Doesn't get himself too close to Ogbene, gives himself 3 or 4 yards that he can react to any movements he does, and then stays with him yard for yard and gets the block in.
Absolutely terrific in the first half of last season, especially Ogbene in the Premier League. Second fastest player in the Premier League last season as well. Luton's first corner, and they get the header in through Morris, and it actually was blocked by a player.
Yes, Christian Sadie, I think, inadvertently kind of hits his shins as it's going in. Saw Will Morris scrambling across his goal. Lots of movement inside the box. It's just sheer power from Morris getting up and above the Portsmouth defence, heads it down towards that far corner, does a really good job. Christian Sadie reacts quickly, gets himself back behind the ball and gets an important block in.
Clark. Amari Bell. Forward it goes by Walters. Offside against Adebayo.
It's been fascinating to see what Rob Edwards was going to do this season. As they got promoted from the Championship, it's very much a 3-5-2. The likes of Morris and Adebayo up front, crosses into the box. Whereas they had to develop that in the Premier League. It wasn't working early on the season, so they went more to a box midfield. And they've continued that at the start of this season with Morris just playing a little bit deeper off Adebayo. Him and Chong trying to pick up pockets the other side of that Portsmouth midfield. It's been working well so far in this game. You do feel with the physical presence, you do want Morris in the box as well. We saw it off the corner there, how dominant he can be in the air.
Good header from Walters. That's another foul by Clark. Once again, it's on Callum Lang.
Yeah, just going back to fitness, Jordan Clark, and Callum Lang is an absolute live wire in those areas of the pitch when the ball's bouncing round. He anticipates extremely well, gets onto the ball quickly. Jordan Clark will not want to be picking up a booking too early. Evades one there.
Such a beautiful strike, wasn't it, from Lang last week at Elland Road. Such a clean strike. Already one of the goals of this new fledgling season. Here he is, Lang. Could have gone out to the right-hand side. Instead, he's gone out to Ogilvie. Put it back from Silvera. Dazelle. And then played forward to no great effect by Silvera.
You see what Christian said he wants to do, though. He just wants it rolled into his feet so he can pin Ted and Mengi and then try and get runners off the front of him. Poor ball by Dazelle on his weaker right foot, but he has the quality to produce better.
Ogilvie against Obene, and a nice warm round of applause for Ogilvie as he dealt very impressively with that threat. Marlon Pack. Super ball up top as well. Lane taken on by Silvera. Lane out wide on the left, doesn't get the return, wanted it. Dazelle, Lang. Chipped out to Williams. Ogilvie. Silvera beaten to it by Chidozie Obene. Walters, one of the young players who does keep his place in the Luton team. Only made his senior debut on Monday after signing from Arsenal last month. Trying to press high, Portsmouth. Luton dealt with it well. Towler and Adebayo doing battle. No goals, but no shortage of intrigue and endeavour, and a wonderful pace to the match. Out it goes by Williams, but the offside flag is up anyway.
Yeah, it's disappointing. You can see it looked like Alfie Dowsey had gone a little bit too early. Struggled to get him into the game so far, Luton, but that was a really impressive period of play. They were able to come out of defence, although the pressure was high from Portsmouth, pressing high up the pitch, but they were composed and got their out ball and worked it well into the opposition's half, and they just let themselves down there with a sloppy offside.
Despite relegation, the club put full faith in Rob Edwards on the left there. New 4-year contract in June. And there is John Mousinho, the League One manager of the year last season. His first full season in management. Couldn't have done much more. Urging everyone forward here as he's looking up top towards both Morris and Adebayo. That's good work from Sadie. And space on the left for Silvera. Outside of the boot, beautifully done. The shot from Paddy Lane, always rising. But that was direct and effective from Portsmouth.
Yeah, really well worked. Fully feel from Marlon Pack to play it across to Silvera. He gets his head up early, which is important, picks the pass, and they had numbers over Portsmouth. Maybe Paddy Lane could have taken an extra touch. Looks like he had enough space there to then get his shot off. Decides to go first time, just popped up at him at the vital moment. Didn't quite get his right shoulder down enough, which will cause you to hit the ball down into the ground.
Weighed in with 12 goals last season. Lane, second top league scorer actually behind Colby Bishop. If you're wondering where he is, he had heart surgery not so long ago. After a routine scan, found a defect, so he's going to be missing for quite some time. I wish him and his family all the best.
They also have Yengi out injured as well.
That was unfortunate, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're hoping he's back in soon, and they're kind of having to work with what they've got in those forward areas. Christian Sadie can very much play a number 9, but me personally, I think he works better off a striker, using his physicality to get the ball and turn and run. Callum Lang can play as a 9. We saw Sorensen do the job against Leeds and get his goals. They have got options, but probably not the out-and-out number 9 that they would like at the moment.
Yengi out with a groin problem. Another one who really impressed in League One last season. Forward it goes by Towler. Certainly, if you look among the favourites for relegation this season, you won't find Pompey's names there, that's for sure. Obene's cross towards Adebayo. Free kick to Pompey.
I feel this is an area that Luton need to try and get themselves into, getting the ball wide to Ogbene, into Alfie Doughty, crosses into the box with the physical nature they have in there. Crosses a little bit behind Adebayo. Never really looked comfortable. Knew he was going to have to raise his leg. It's well defended by Portsmouth.
Silvera. Towler. Seven attempts so far. Midway through the first half. Towler again. Ogilvie. Sadie and Mengi going for the same ball. Back pass by Ogilvie. Norris making his 50th appearance for Pompey. Signed from Burnley just over a year ago. 19 clean sheets in League One last season. Ogbene. Seeking out Adebayo, and somehow kept out brilliantly by Norris. He must have thought he'd scored there. Adebayo, another great ball in.
Yeah, again, the areas that Luton need to get into, these wide areas, Conor Ogilvie gives Ogbene far too much room, and he gives him the opportunity to really pick out Adebayo, who just drifts off the back of Shaughnessy. Doesn't get the contact I think he would have wanted, straight into the ground, but it is a fabulous save by Will Norris. It really is, using every ounce of his athleticism to get to that top corner.
Helped out by the frame of the goal as well. Second Luton corner, Doughty with it. Wouldn't fall for Mengi. Pompey looked to break with Lang. Not for long. Well, that's 3 big chances Luton have had in this first half. Will Norris, terrific so far. There is Baptiste to Ogbene. Clark made the run, Behind it goes by Silvera for another Luton corner.
There's a clever run from Jordan Clark. This time Ogilvie goes a little bit tighter to Ogbeni, which means you've got that channel to roll the ball into. It needs a runner, whether it's one of the outside forwards from Carlton Morris or a deeper midfield run. And just a little bit of pressure now building from Luton.
Hatters fans singing the name of Alfie Doughty as he takes the corner. They're singing it better than I'm pronouncing it, that's for sure. Collected by Ogbeni.
Made some big saves, Will Norris, early in this game. A couple of one-on-one saves, one off Adebayo and one off Carlton Morris, and then that save, undoubtedly the best one of the three, the header from Adebayo.
Runs through to Sadie. Ogilvie. Beautifully played to Silvera. Skips past Morris. Silvera! Good save this time by Kaminski. Comes out to Lane. Well, superb from Pompey. And this time, it's Kaminski called into action.
Yeah, this is where Sam Silvera's at his best. Just nipping inside those challenges. Lovely balance as he does so. Tries to set it out onto that far post, maybe drags it a little bit too central. But Kaminski has to be sharp because it's going through bodies and gets a good, strong hand to it. And then on the follow-up, can't quite get the ball back across the goal. That's excellent from Silvera. First time we've really seen him come into life in this first half.
Australian is on loan from Middlesbrough. Won the A-League title with Central Coast Mariners. Actually born in London, moved to Australia as a child. Started all three games in League and Cup so far. On this left-hand side, Sadie to Silvera. Lang darting into the centre. Sadie played out wisely to Williams. Oh, nothing wrong with that cross. That asked all the right questions.
Yeah, it was an excellent ball. It looked like Portsmouth had all the areas covered. Christian said he just got blocked off at the vital moment. Good defending from Luton. It's really raised the atmosphere inside Fratton Park. They can feel their team on the front foot, urging them forward at every opportunity.
Well, you can hear the fans clearly feel that they're taking quite a lot of time, Luton, over these goal kicks, and the referee's had enough. Yellow card. The last couple, Kaminski hasn't taken them.
Is it Kaminski who got booked?
It looked like it, although it might have been Mengi. I'll get that confirmed for you. Yeah. Silly way to get caution.
It is. Luton just trying to take the sting out of it. You can feel the crowd really helping Portsmouth the last couple of minutes with a few attacks. But the referees not having any of it, trying to quicken the game up, which is good to see.
Just to confirm, it was Kaminski. They get the yellow card. Well, the players certainly can't complain about the atmosphere. The fans are really playing their part here. Including the away end. All that we've lacked is a goal. It's certainly not for the want of trying on the part of both of these teams. A terrific contest so far. Towler. Ogilvie. drilling it beautifully out to Williams. Held up by Chong, and in fact showed too much of it to Shannon Baptiste. Ogilvie. Silvera. Shaughnessy. Certainly we were lucky enough to see both of these teams a lot last season, and I certainly never felt shortchanged whenever I covered either of these sides, and he's taken a risk there, Kaminski, to say the least. Free kick's going to be given, and what is the punishment? He's off. A red card for Kaminski, and a huge twist in this big championship battle. He came flying out, and Luton are down to 10 with 2/3 of the game to play.
Disastrous decision-making from Kaminski. You can see him remonstrating with the referee, and I don't think he has any complaints about that foul. It's more the first one. He got booked for the time wasted, even though it was Teden Mengi we felt was on the ball at the time. He is furious. Be interested to see what Rob Edwards thinks of that decision as well, but his initial starting position is probably a little bit too dangerous, doesn't quite get to the second one, then he's fully committed. An outrageous tackle then on Conor Ogilvie. Maybe felt he should have come for the ball in the last game against Burnley, hence him starting a little bit more aggressively, and he commits early. Just gets away with the first one, but the second one, no complaints whatsoever.
First lane, then Ogilvie. Second yellow card. Kaminski off. And what a calamity for Luton Town, who played so well in this first half. James Shea is going to come on. He's made just 2 senior appearances in the last 2 years, with a knee injury in that time as well. Kaminski started every game in the Premier League last season. Actually, Shea came on for a sub-appearance on the final day of last season against Fulham, played the last 14 minutes. He's going to play a lot more here. Kaminski will have a suspension as well, of course. Shea signed from Wimbledon in 2017. It's a change that certainly Rob Edwards didn't want to have to make. Carlton Morris's number has gone up. The captain is sacrificed.
Yeah, it's always gut-wrenching as a player when you're the one that has to be sacrificed, and Carlton Morris has had a good first half. He's had a couple of opportunities as well, and the leader on the pitch. That'll be disappointing for Rob Edwards, but it's the obvious one. You feel that he might just flip now into a back four and play more of a 4-4-1. There's that chance again. The first one he doesn't quite get there. The second one he's inexplicable.
Well, the referee's whistle was already in his lips, wasn't it, after the first one? And having already been booked moments earlier, it was inevitable. Now at the end of all that, there's a free kick as well for Pompey.
I wonder if Conor Ogilvie would be disappointed he didn't hit the back of the net. I know it's on his weaker right foot, but lots of room to aim for if he is more worried about the flying boots of Kaminski coming at him.
It's Marlon Pack. It'll flick off the wall. Corner kick to Pompey.
Yeah, after the big build-up, Marlon Pack will be disappointed. Poor free kick from his standards. Doesn't get it high enough, doesn't get the direction right either.
Flicked off the head of Waters, behind for a corner. Oh, Ogilvie's in there. So too was Shaughnessy. The Pompey players are screaming screaming for a penalty, absolutely screaming for it. And a yellow card is shown for the complaints. As Shaughnessy is adamant that that should have been a spot kick.
John Busby coming under all sorts of pressure now. The ball comes into the box, Luton can't quite get it away and it falls to Conor Shaughnessy. Looking like he should just be able to get a shot away. And it's Rule Walters who wraps his left leg around. Does he impede the left leg of Shaughnessy? Has he got too much of his shirt? John Busby certainly doesn't feel he did.
Well, has the referee got a good enough view of that as well? Is he thinking, I've just given a red card, am I going to give a penalty as well a minute later? Big call. Certainly Pompey fans now are thinking this is a wonderful opportunity to get a victory in our first home league game of the season. Bell. Breaks kindly for Lang. And that's a foul and a free kick to Luton. Things hotting up nicely.
Yeah, Portsmouth had the bit between their teeth. And Luton will just really want to try and slow the game down. Yeah, Callum Lang just dips his right foot in and it's an opportunity for Luton to go down and get the foul. And as I said, just take a few moments. Try and navigate their way through to half-time. That's important now for Luton because Portsmouth really do feel like they've got the upper edge pushing towards that half-time break.
Pressure from Adebayo. Wrestling with Shaughnessy. Towler. That's been a bit of needle between these clubs over the last 6 or 7 years. Goes back to a game when Cameron McGeehan broke his leg here for Luton after a challenge by Michael Doyle. He was booed off by some of the Pompey fans. Later actually signed for Pompey, played that whole thing down. He said many Pompey fans actually reached out to him after the game. But that's where the rivalry stems from.
Portsmouth need to be patient now as well. They need to try and move the ball around the pitch quickly. When you're playing against 10 men, it's important you try and tire them out, move them side to side, make them trying to cover as much ground as possible. And as the game goes on, more gaps will start to appear. You don't go too gung-ho too early. Patience is key.
Chong. And a free kick. Gazelle with the challenge.
Just build on it. When you are patient and the ball does get given away, you're usually in a good position to go and counter-press and win the ball back, and that will limit Luton opportunities to really retain possession themselves, and it'll feel like it's keep coming back at them.
Walters trying to link up with Obene. Back pass by Towler's a bit short. Just had enough. Lang out to Williams. One of those making his home league debut for Pompey. Ogilvie, Silvera. Shrugging off Obene, rolling it very nicely into lane. Dealt with by Mengi. Pack to Silvera.
It's a beautiful pass by Marlon Pack. We saw him do something similar at Ellen Road for the goal for Sorensen. Lovely reverse pass. Looking one way, does it the other, and so very disappointed he doesn't quite get his shot away in the fashion that he would have liked.
Just has that touch of class, Pack, doesn't he? Player of the year last season. After rejoining a couple of years ago from Cardiff. Came through the academy here originally. Towler. 5 minutes left in this absorbing first half. Ball in towards Lang, dealt with by Bell. Here's Clark. And again, brought down. Chong was making tracks down the left. The referee stopped the game because he wants to get the yellow card out here.
Yeah, it was a really rash tackle from Marlon Pack. Singing his praises for on the ball. They try and get a counter press going there, Portsmouth. They give the ball away. They're trying to win it back high up the pitch, but Luton are composed. They play their way out. And Marlon Pack just dives and lunges in. Cynical on Jordan Clark, but Luton are disappointed because Chong was away running at the Portsmouth defence.
Yeah, referee could have gone back and booked Pack after playing advantage. Chose not to. Clark, who felt the full force of that challenge, is still down. This is his first appearance of the season.
This will be terrible for Luton. It's an area of the pitch that they need to strengthen, you would think, before the end of the window. Zach Nelson, who started in that position against Burnley. I'd be delighted to have Jordan Clark back in with some experience, but they've lost some key players in that part of the pitch with Lokonga and Ross Barkley, who were so influential in the way they played last season.
Well, the first half hasn't gone the way they were hoping. There's Hatters fans losing their goalkeeper. Down to 10 players. Got a lot of work to do here on a warm day on the south coast. Looks like Clark will be able to continue. As you say, they just look a bit short in that area. Adebayo wrestling with Shaughnessy. Only Towler there. Morris might have been there if he hadn't had to be sacrificed to bring on the goalkeeper. Great turn by Sadie. Lang's ahead of him. Across goes Mengi. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, good football all round there. Christian Sadie with a lovely role. That's what he spoke about earlier in the game, about him being able to drop deeper into those link-up areas and use his body to manoeuvre his way forward. And then excellent defending from Tedamengi. He just lands a little bit awkwardly. You were hoping that's not bad news. Cam Lang feels it's a foul. It wasn't. It was just excellent defending. A player that Luton will be desperate to keep hold of. There'll be no doubt they'll be interested in Tedamengi, how well he played last season.
Another 3 years it's been for Rob Edwards there. Promotion with Forest Green Rovers, sacked after 11 games at Watford. Given a lifeline by Luton, promotion to the Premier League and relegation. What a roller coaster. And amongst it all, he's done the most wonderful job here with Luton. Silvera just showed too much of it to Mengi.
I do think the message from Messina at half-time will be to try and keep the ball a little bit better in the second half. It's been a positive first half. They rode their luck at times early on, but they can just keep the ball, move it side to side, like I was saying earlier, try and tire out this Luton team, sustain a little bit more pressure, not so many turnovers, and they will get a lot more opportunities as that second half goes on.
Minimum of 5 minutes of first half stoppage time. Chong winning a corner for Luton. It's been a quiet first half for Alfie Doughty. He'll take the corner. Waiting for Mengi to bolster the attack. Doughty delivers. Shaughnessy away. Ambitious.
There might be an opportunity here for Ogbene just to push it out wide, but Maribel takes command of it. And that is hopeful to say at the best.
I wonder if you gave him 30 attempts at that, how many times he'd find the top corner. Sadie. And out by Mengi again. Good pressure from Christian Sadie.
Strong running from Christian Sadie once again. It's been a battle in this opening 45 minutes, set to continue.
Corner number 3 for Pompey. In it goes by Dizelle. Good catch from James Shea.
Good take from the goalkeeper. Do his confidence the world of good, come to get one clean. And again, just a chance for Luton just to calm the game down.
Always got to be ready, haven't you, as a sub-keeper? You just never know. Sammy Silvera back to Ogilvie. Dizelle looking for Sadie, managed to stay on his feet, did superbly well. Now it's Paddy Lane. Wins a corner off Doughty.
And once again, the link-up play is excellent in the centre of the pitch. Drags Luton in now, then they can feed it out wide. Paddy Lane doing his best to get a cross in. Chong works hard to double up with Alfie Doughty.
First half drawing to a close. Ogilvie's header and the flick from Lang straight to Shea.
Well, Ogilvie does well in the box at winning headers, and he just stays out here, gets headed towards goal, then Lang just needs to flick it in any direction, but just glances it straight ahead. And Shea will be delighted just to see it pop up to his hands, because any sort of movement on that ball from Callum Lang, if we get it going left or right, no doubt that would have ended up in the back of the Luton net.
Well, maybe one last chance here for Pompey to get it forward in this first half. Flipped up by Jordan Williams. Lane goes down under the challenge of Bell, but There's the half-time whistle, and certainly a tale of two goalkeepers, really. We saw some really good attempts. Sami Silvera forcing the save from Kaminski. At the other end, Morris and Adebayo both getting the best out of Will Norris before the dramatic moment when Thomas Kaminski was sent off. James Shea, his replacement. Luton down to 10. They'll have to play the whole of the second half a man light. Should be a fascinating second 45. We haven't had goals, but we've certainly had no shortage of incident or chances, and it's certainly lived up to that pre-match billing when we hoped it would be end-to-end and energetic. It's certainly been all that and more.